Across the sunlit African grasslands, a graceful herd of spotted deer grazes in fleeting peace. Safety exists only while the herd remains united. Yet this fragile calm is about to vanish in an instant. One heavily pregnant doe quietly drifts away from the herd. Labor has begun, and every contraction demands all the strength her exhausted body can summon. Out in the open, giving birth on the African savanna is one of the most dangerous moments in any deer's life. A tiny fawn finally enters the world. Without hesitation, the mother begins licking every inch of her newborn's body, cleaning away every trace of birth while stimulating its circulation. Each careful movement serves another vital purpose, reducing the scent that could guide nearby predators directly to her helpless baby. The fawn cannot remain on the ground for long. Across these grasslands, weakness is quickly discovered, and any newborn unable to stand becomes easy prey. Its impossibly thin legs tremble beneath its tiny body. Gravity seems almost impossible to overcome. Again and again, the little deer collapses into the dust, only to struggle back onto its knees. Every painful fall becomes another lesson in survival. An instinct millions of years old refuses to let the newborn surrender. With remarkable determination, the fragile fawn continues pushing upward until at last, 4 shaking legs lock beneath its body. It stands. Moments later, the newborn eagerly nurses from its mother. Rich milk floods its empty stomach, delivering the precious energy needed for the dangerous hours ahead. Every swallow strengthens muscles that will soon be tested far beyond their limits. Then the wind changes. Carried across the savanna comes the unmistakable scent of fresh birth. A clan of spotted hyenas immediately lifts their heads. Masters of opportunity, they instantly recognize what the breeze is telling them. A vulnerable newborn is somewhere nearby. Without hesitation, the clan begins moving toward the deer herd. The mother notices the approaching danger almost immediately. Nervous alarm spreads rapidly through the grazing animals before erupting into complete panic. The herd explodes into a desperate stampede. Thousands of pounding hooves throw clouds of dust high into the air as the spotted deer race across the open plains. The hyenas need not rely on surprise. Their greatest weapon is relentless endurance. Rather than chasing the strongest adults, they patiently force the herd into chaos, waiting for one exhausted youngster to fall behind. Dust blinds both predator and prey. The protective wall of the herd begins breaking apart. Within the confusion, the hyenas spread across the fleeing animals, carefully searching for a single mistake. Then it happens. Separated by only a few terrifying seconds, the young fawn loses sight of its mother. The tiny deer is suddenly alone. Every predator instantly locks onto the isolated youngster. The chase changes completely. No longer pursuing an entire herd, the hyenas now focus every ounce of attention on one terrified newborn. The frightened fawn runs as fast as its newly strengthened legs will allow. But the predators close the distance effortlessly. Its tiny lungs burn. Its muscles begin to fail. Each stride becomes slower than the last. The jaws behind it creep ever closer. Ahead lies one final chance. A broad river cuts across the dry landscape. Driven entirely by instinct and desperation, the young deer suddenly changes direction, abandoning the open grassland and racing toward the muddy shoreline. Without hesitation, it plunges into the shallow water. The hyenas stop at the riverbank. They hesitate. African rivers hide dangers. Even experienced predators refuse to underestimate. The thick mud slows the exhausted fawn almost to a crawl, but it also robs the hyenas of their speed and confidence. They pace nervously along the shoreline, weighing hunger against survival. What none of them realize is that these waters already belong to someone else. A gigantic hippopotamus has been watching everything. Weighing well over 3 tons, the enormous bull remains almost completely submerged, observing the unfolding drama with silent intensity. A violent blast of water erupts from his nostrils. It is an unmistakable warning. Leave this river. The hyenas hesitate only briefly. Driven by hunger, they slowly step into the water anyway. The trap closes once more. The exhausted fawn finds itself trapped between ruthless hunters and one of Africa's most territorial giants. Its escape seems impossible. The hyenas spread into a loose semicircle, preparing to finish the hunt. Then something extraordinary happens. Instead of swimming away from the enormous hippo, the frightened fawn turns toward him. It presses its tiny, trembling body against the giant's thick hide, desperately seeking shelter beside an animal capable of crushing it with a single movement. The hyenas freeze. They know exactly how dangerous an angry hippo can be. Carefully, they inch closer, hoping the giant will either drive the youngster away or simply ignore it. The river falls silent. Predators, prey, and a colossal guardian standing between them. Then the hippo slowly turns. His enormous jaws open impossibly wide, revealing massive ivory tusks capable of shattering bone with terrifying ease. It is the final warning. The hyenas linger one moment too long. The river explodes. The trembling fawn realizes the danger has finally passed. Gathering the last of its strength, it climbs the muddy bank and leaves its unexpected protector behind. Now another challenge begins. Somewhere across the endless sea of spotted deer, its mother is still searching. The tiny fawn wanders through countless unfamiliar faces, each one nearly identical to the last. Finding its own mother seems almost impossible. Then it cries. A soft, desperate call carries across the moving herd. The mother instantly recognizes the unique voice of her own offspring. She breaks from the herd and races toward the sound. Moments later, mother and fawn stand together once again. The newborn eagerly nurses beneath her watchful gaze. Against impossible odds, the tiny spotted deer has survived its very first day on the African savanna.